No. I actually thought about my bucket. I was like yesterday, I was like, dude, what happens, Tommy, if you're... What happens if you're old one day and your life is kind of done? Like you have enough money and you're kind of fixed. What do you do then? And one little... I talked about this before, and this is obviously very dreaming. I'm not stupid. There's two things I want to do in life, which is A, I want to release my own manga. And B, I want to write a script for a TV show. Like, that TV show is already... And there's one movie I have in my brain. I have a manga, a TV show, and a movie in my brain for many years. And I want to write them down one day. Knowingly, okay, that nothing's going to come from it, but that's something I want to do one day in my life. Yeah. I told you about the TV show. I told you the manga. I told you guys, if you watch the stream a lot, you know there's YouTube videos where I explain them. Project Evergarden. Then the zombie TV show. Where I think I have the first season fully in my brain now. Like, I have great ideas for that TV show, man. God, that TV show will be so good. And my movie, a little indie movie I have in my brain. Yesterday, I found it yesterday. I can show you. I was cleaning yesterday because me and Lisa. Where is that? Where did I put that? Here. Me and Lisa were cleaning a lot lately to make space for the baby, and I found this piece of paper, and this paper is me writing down my dreams. I used to have a dream diary. This is I wake up at night and I used to write down my dreams. I don't do it anymore because I don't give a shit anymore. And yeah, I have a movie idea. It's a zombie movie. You can see I'm a bit into zombies, and I had to think, right? I was like, you can't use much money, you know, you're a nobody. What kind of movie can you make with a low budget that can still be good? And the idea I had, it's a bit basic, it's something, is the following. We start with a character. The movie starts, he's young, he's in his middle 20s, he's at university, he's jobbing, his girlfriend just left him, and he's just overall, he's a bit of a loser, man. It's not going so well. I can cast the non-subs for that, 100%. It's not going so well for him, right? He's not doing so well, and his mom is like, bro, you gotta find a job, man. I can't pay for your shit anymore. What the fuck are we doing here? We gotta do something. So he gets a job at a gas station on a highway in no man's land. On the middle of the highway, he gets a job at a gas station, and yeah, he doesn't want the job. He's like, fuck, I have to. He's wearing this shirt, right? This ugly shirt. His boss is explaining the shift to him, and he's like, ah, fuck, this sucks. Like, you know, it doesn't go well. So he goes to his first night shift to the gas station, and what happens now in this movie, in this idea, is that in terms of a climax, slowly zombie shit is happening, right? He's sitting there, he's bored, a guy comes in, buys a bunch of cigarettes, blah blah blah. An aggressive guy comes in, he's kind of aggressive towards him to show that he's a bit of a weak character, blah blah blah. And he turns on the TV, and the TV talks about weird things are happening in the city, the army is coming. He's like, what the fuck, let's turn that off. And then a businessman comes in, an old man in a suit, and he's going to the cash, and he's sweating, right? He has bloodshot eyes. He doesn't look very good, and he's like, can I use the toilet, man? Can I use the toilet? And he's like, yeah, sure, sir. He gives him the key. The guy goes into the toilet. And step by step, more and more characters are introduced to that gas station, and it becomes more and more apparent that something is really wrong. And the big climax is that the guy in the toilet actually got zombified, and shit happens, shit goes down. And that is my indie movie idea. It all happens at that one gas station, man. Nothing crazy. Not a lot of money involved. Just low characters, man. They don't... And then stuff happens, man. Indie style, Tarantino-esque, lots of blood. That is my movie. Yay, don't steal it, please, man. Don't do it. If I see that movie next week, man, I swear to God. You spoiled all of it, though. Yeah, I mean, that's writing, man. You gotta talk about your ideas if the plot twist is good and stuff. Will it be German? The fuck do I know? I hope not. German acting is so cringe. I guess a good main character would be the guy that plays Spider-Man, Tom Holland. He would be a good main character for that idea. What about the manga? There's a video on YouTube where I explain the entire manga for 2 hours. I think my manga idea is pretty sick, but I think of all my 3 ideas, my TV show is the best. I think if the way I have in my brain, my TV show will be fucking mind-blowing. It will destroy Netflix. It will be... I really believe in that shit. I think my TV show will be insane. I don't know what the video name is. Just go TommyKay hentai manga or something. Tom Holland and cheap movie. If you were asked, would you be down to write a story to a video game? Sure, man. Sure, but no one's gonna ask. Like, I even have the soundtrack of my movie, of my TV show. I think about this a lot. It's like a hobby of mine. It's just jokes and stuff, right? I'm not stupid. But you know, I explained to you the final scene of the first episode when the main character is on the roof, smokes a cigarette, and it zooms out and shows the city, right, that he's in. I think you guys can follow me. You need to know the whole story, man. Like, I have a perfect idea for, like, I have the final scene in my... Does anyone here know my zombie TV show? I talk about it so often. Because you have to know what I'm talking about, otherwise it makes no sense. And in the final scene, we show the viewer, you, a zoom out of the base of that big city for zombies, against zombies, that big city of survivors. And I have this perfect idea, man. Like, I just dream about this stuff. So the final shot of episode 1, it's night, out, it's a zombie apocalypse scenario, okay, blah, 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 as always. And we have this massive city in the background, right, with doors and stuff. We have this massive city. The main character stands on the biggest building and he just looks around him where he is, and slowly the camera zooms out, and I already have the music. I have the music. And it's a violin and a cello, and the violin goes and the cello goes whoa, like showing the viewer something is not right, man. This is dangerous. And we're zooming out, right, and we have little happenings in the zoom out in the last minute. We zoom out, we see the gate, there's a guard with a rifle, and the zombie is coming close and he just shoots him in the head. This is to show that the zombies are not really the threat here. That zombie is just getting shot. And we're zooming out and the camera is slowly turning into the bushes, and the final scene of episode 1 is it turns and we see a stativ with a binocular and the guy in a mask, and he's watching the city. And the episode ends, and that's episode 1 of Project of that zombie show. Stay ready, guys. In 20 years on Netflix. And then I thought the first season should have like 6 episodes, not much. And the whole idea is, right, that the big plot was that his wife abandoned him and his child. The child got eaten, he got zombified, he got brought back. He finds out like in episode 5 that his wife is actually abandoned him and the child, which then makes him mad. And then something happens that makes him join the guy in the forest, the people in the forest. And the goal of the show is to make you think that the people in the city are the good ones and the guys in the forest are the bad ones. But then it becomes apparent that like life, everything is gray. The guy in the city are like exalted ones, and they don't have it that easy and stuff. And then the main character joins them. Like, I already thought of the final scene of the 6th episode. In the final episode, episode 6, the main character finds out. Can anyone follow me? Does anyone even know what I'm talking about? It's like, let's do it quick. It's a TV show with the following idea. It's like the Walking Dead style zombie show, but realistic, with deep characters and deep dialogue. Like, not fucking childish bullshit, like a girl with a katana. Very realistic. And the idea of the show is the main character wakes up in the beginning in a test tube. He doesn't know what happened. He has no memory. The premise of the show is we live in a zombie apocalyptic world. It's kind of already, the zombie apocalypse is over for a while now. And scientists in that city, in this city of survivors, it's a big city. There's a lot of people. It's not just a small village. They found a cure to the zombification. If they get you soonish after you got zombified, you can still be saved. So the main character has been a zombie and he's coming back. He has only been zombified for like 24 hours or something, or like 2 days, I don't know. And he doesn't know where he is and stuff. And the TV show follows him as he finds himself in this world with a lot of characters, and there's a lot of intrigue and stuff, blah 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 blah. And the final episode is that he somehow, I don't know how I would do that, he finds out that it's all his wife's fault. The big plot twist is, here we go, this is gonna suck for you. In the final episode, there's a scene where we see a big plot twist. We follow a group of survivors, which the main character is a part of. one of the female scientists in the city spotted, and a small child, and some other survivors. And something goes wrong. I have an idea for that. Something from Zomboid. The main characters, I already have that scene in my face. And that scene will be influenced by the scene in King Kong from Peter Jackson, where they fall into the pit with the insects. And Peter Jackson just turns music off, and he just lets the horror happen to the viewer, right? It's such a horrifying scene with the insects, and there's no music. It's just horror. And I have this idea of the survivors on the forest, very dense forest, and music turns off, and they're slowly getting surrounded by zombies. Very slowly getting surrounded. And what happens is, there's a situation where they're running or something. And by the way, the main character, the female scientist, and the kid are family. They're married, and the kid is their kid. And they're running, and somehow, I don't know how to construct that. The wife, the woman, can save the husband and the kid, but decides to save herself, which leads to the kid dying, getting eaten, and the man getting bitten and running away. The man then gets zombified, gets caught by the city, and then gets brought back to life. And the whole premise of season 1 is that the main character realizes, holy shit, that woman, that scientist that brought me back, is actually my wife, and she's responsible for our kid dying. Which then leads the main character down a path of revenge and redemption, where he's starting to be against her and the city. Ritualists. I need to slay ritualists. Let's go. The final scene is, I dreamt that, like the main character was kidnapped from the outsiders, and they're like, you have to wake up, man, they're really the evil ones, blah blah blah. And for some reason, I don't know why yet, he has that flashback where he realizes his wife is actually, she did that horrible thing. And the final scene is once again the music, the violin, nun, 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 and the cello, nun, 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 nun. Wow, that's like the main theme of the TV show. So he wakes up, he opens his eyes, zoom in on his face, he realizes, holy shit, what a plot twist, man, it was her all along. And then he slowly gets out of the camp, he walks up a little hill, it's night, and he walks up the hill, he sits down on a little hill, and then the final zoom, the camera goes, you see the city in the back. And it kind of, season 1 ends with the main character is looking at the city of these people that lied to him, where his wife is, that is the reason he got bitten and his kid died. That's the final scene, dude. What's the name of the show? I don't fucking know. And I think in that show we would work a lot with flashbacks, because people that watch zombie shows, they love to see the initial zombie apocalypse. So the show could have the show could be working with two timelines. The current timeline where he got de-zombified and he goes to like therapy and he learns about how the city works and stuff. And another timeline how the apocalypse starts and stuff. And then the big plot twist is that in the timeline of the apocalypse, the final scene is where the wife abandons him. Okay, yeah, that's the TV show. Any downsides to being brought back from being a zombie? Yes, I have a scene in my mind. So in the first episode, he gets brought back, right? Blah, blah, blah. He's coughing. His skin doesn't look very healthy. He maybe is losing a tooth and stuff. He's really fucked up. But they're building him back up. And then the scientists say, sir, we have a therapy program here in this the sanctuary where we help recover people like you. Obviously, some people are hard to be brought back. And there's this legendary scene I came up with. In the first episode, we have a cut, new scene. We have a room like the Anonymous Alcoholics. There's a bunch of chairs in a circle. And the main character goes into that room and we see one guy leading that circle and we see a lot of people in the circle. One guy is missing a hand. One guy looks like he has a leper. One guy is missing an eye and he's like, holy shit, what happened here? And this is the group of people in that city of recovered ones. And they're kind of... this is kind of a circle telling them how the rules are in the city, blah 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 blah, how stuff like that works. And he sits down, and this scene is meant to show the main characters of the show. The show is supposed to be about cool characters and intrigues and stuff, and traitors, and like he has a friend, and later they have to kill each other and stuff, blah blah blah. And this scene introduces all the characters that we're seeing in that show, which is the people that were brought back, man, and what they think about everything and stuff. Yeah. Yep. Will it be like 2020? Yeah, kind of I guess, yeah. Like modern times in a way, sure. I need a name for it, man. I think it should be about the city. Like the name of the city, Aurora. I don't know. Like, it's kind of based on that city and intrigues in there and stuff like that. And also very important, man, you would have deep dialogue, like Sopranos, Mrs. Maisel dialogue. Everything makes sense, man. Every tool in the background has a reason to be there, man. Every piece of dialogue makes sense. They talk realistic. They talk about banal stuff that doesn't even matter to the viewer, but it's just as real that the characters talk about it. That would be a big goal. So the one thing with that show will totally be to not do the mistake that Walking Dead did. What the big mistake for me personally, I mean, they still have been successful, but what I didn't like about The Walking Dead is that it became just childish, unrealistic. There's a girl with a katana, and one zombie can take down an army, and like, it's just. I always want in TV shows realism in their fictional world. Like, that would be the utmost goal. No childish bullshit, man. No storylines that are just made up out of nowhere, like the new Star Wars. Like, everything has to make sense. That's good writing, man, you know? I took the liberty of creating a soundtrack to the zombie indie film you were talking about. I want you to imagine. Thank you, thank you. So imagine, you're watching Tommy's Zombie Show, and we are in the final scene of the final episode of season 1. The main character just realized the big plot twist that his wife is why he got zombified and why his child died. And now the song starts and he wakes up. He opens his eyes, the main character. There's no emotion in his face. And he slowly stands up. The camp around him looks at him. What is he doing? Why is he standing up? It's happening. And there's no emotion. He doesn't say anything. And he looks into the sky. And he starts walking through the forest. We follow him as the viewer. And he's going up on a hill. It's dark. But you can see lights in the back. You have to wait for another drop. And he walks and walks. And he's determined. You see it in his voice. He's very determined. He sits down in the grass. A little breeze of wind is in the grass. Little bit. And the camera goes from his back, sitting, to the right and to the distance and the horizon. And you see the city of the survivors in the back. Lots of lights. Maybe some steam. Fade to black. Written and directed by TommyKay. Run outro. Run outro. All the names. Season 1 done. Like, that was amazing, but I think for the TV show, a bit darker. A bit darker. The violin, one lower. A bit more darkness, a bit more depression, a bit more. That's if we will right now sit in a room and literally doing the soundtrack for a fucking show, I think that's what I honestly tell you, just to be honest. Even though that song, I totally see that in the TV show. That was for the first time ever that my idea kind of became real because someone did something for that. Almost made me cry, man. Like when the camera, when I explained the scene where it zooms out, shows the guy in the bush. In the final scene when he looks at the city that he wants to destroy, then that song comes in. Dude. Kind of touching me with that shit, man. Maybe one day, don't leave after this, boss. Maybe one day I will write a script, man, and then we go to Hollywood. Start writing the script? Dude, I'm way too busy lately. I'm not even doing my normal chores. The point is, I don't even know how to write a script. You probably have to take a class or something to understand that shit. And then you invest so much time and it goes nowhere. Dude, in a weird way, man, in a weird fucking way, if I would really pull all strings, we could make an indie movie, right? Like, if I really, like, fly out, people meet at, like, a Paradox Con, we get a real team, we rent equipment, we could make the movie idea, because it's only just in the gas station. The point of movies is, straight up, like, dead serious, reality always diverges massively from reality. what reality? From what you're thinking. Like you're thinking your movie's gonna look like this and this, but then in real life things will go a different way. Maybe one day we make a movie together, chat. Like a nice little funny indie movie. Actually, cool idea. But that, like, not now, man. You know, let my kid grow up a bit first.